Might as well get acquainted with the new cards. Like, this is legit my first impressions of them, by the way. Like, aside from seeing a few here and there on Facebook or Twitter and whatnot, I haven't really been in the loop for the new cards and whatnot. So this is gonna be my genuine first thoughts. I didn't pay attention to any Fury crafting streams, none of that shit. So it's gonna be a learning experience now, isn't it? So yeah, let's jump into them cards. I'm using Hearthstone top deck side because it has some reviews and whatnot, gives us a better idea of what people are actually thinking about those cards and whatnot. And we're gonna start off with the neutral cards so that we have a basically bigger picture. Like, once we start seeing the class cards, we will want to know what the neutral cards are doing in the first place, so that we can see some potential support from them and whatnot. So yeah, I think this is the adult thing to do. Okay, all cards revealed. So let's get into it. How's it going, Scion? Right, so starting off with them 1-drops. Tram Mechanic. Death Rattle, get a barrel of sludge. Toxic waste, handle with care. It's a sloppy 2-1, no tribe, no nothing. What is this toxic, you say? Okay, there it is. Barrel of sludge. When this is played, discard or destroyed, deal 3 damage to the lowest health enemy. That includes his face, so that can be interesting in certain cases. Played, discarded, or destroyed. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool indeed. I guess it could be cool for discard, Warlock and Wild and whatnot, but who knows? Maybe there's support for it in the new cards. I am yet to see, chat. Okay, sounds a little bit mediocre, but I can definitely see a situation where this becomes somewhat meta, like something like a tour guide kind of deal. Giving yourself extra resource, generally good idea. Okay, next 1 mana 2/2 Death Rattle, get a tradable Snake Oil. Wait, 1 mana 2/2 with an effect? Say what? This is actually kind of huge. Tradable, deal 0 damage. This seems useless, but combo this with some spell power and suddenly you have a 0 mana face damage for a ton. Like, this is probably going to be staple in a deck like Rainbow Mage, let's say. Sadly, no spell school on this one or anything, but I can see this becoming a problem at some point. And let's not forget it's a 1 mana 2/2 that actually gives you basically card draw for 1 mana. So this is better than a Blazing Battle Mage back in the day, the 1 mana 2/2 do nothing, no tribe. This thing is gonna be pretty good, I do believe. I'm not sure why they're rating it this low. Surely this is gonna be strong as hell. Like, this is probably gonna be 5 stars, chat. Like, what the hell is this even? Surely it's gonna be meta. Okay. That's it for the 1-drops, apparently. Sitting at 2 drops, a 2 mana 2/2. Battlecry, return a friendly minion to your hand and give it +2/+2. Well, this is huge. Like, Youthful Brewmaster had his niche moments here and there. And this actually buffing as well. That's basically bonus usually. Like, you don't really do it for the +2/+2, but with this one you actually might. Like, let's say you slap this on a Vizier, suddenly you have a 4/6 and you get to discover a discount again. That's kind of huge. Suddenly those useless Battlecry minions, not so useless anymore. Like the 1/2 draw a weapon, suddenly a 3/4 draw another weapon. This is definitely going to be meta as well, I feel. And it seems like the community is on the same boat as well. Cool, cool. Okay. 2 mana 2/2 Battlecry. The next time you draw a spell, get a copy of it. And this is a Naga. I can see a lot of benefit in this one. Like, the next time you draw a spell, get a copy of it. You can definitely fix what spell you're going to be drawing depending on the class you're playing with this one. So this surely is going to open up some pretty interesting possibilities to get a copy of that spell like that. Could be pretty huge. I can definitely see this being interesting. Yeah, some people are considering Light Show Mage is going to get some playability like this. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but maybe, just maybe. Cool card. 2 mana 1/3. Your beasts have rush. Bunny Stomper. That's Bunny Hopper's card in it. Cool. Your beasts have rush. 2 mana, 1/3. I can see Hunter benefiting from this. Sure. It's not gonna be super strong. It's not like it's getting charged, but it's basically like a animated broomstick kind of deal. So it's kind of huge. It's not a battle cry as well. So you stick this on the board and you have rush for the future idiots as well, sitting at a 1/3. That's kind of cool. This is definitely probably gonna be such a great combination of words that means absolutely nothing. But definitely can see this becoming very meta for certain decks. It's gonna be sticking around for quite a while as well, like year and 3 months. So surely it's gonna break the meta at some point. Okay. 2 mana, Battlecry, Excavated Treasure, Cobalt Miner. 2 mana, 1/1. Well, depends on how strong the excavate mechanic is, and from some of the last treasures I've seen is gonna be strong as hell, so this is probably gonna be a no-brainer for a lot of decks. Not much to talk about it, 2 mana 1/1, but it does have the fat Battlecry effect, and surely it's gonna get comboed with the Brewmaster as well, like 2 mana 3/3 excavate again, that's pretty legit. So I can see this becoming pretty strong pretty fast. 2 mana Poisonous, Cactus Rager. Ragers always have been absolute ass, and honestly this one really doesn't. It's not much different than the rest. Sitting at 5/1, it's basically already poisonous, so if it had Divine Shield, honestly, it would have been playable. If it had Reborn, it would have been playable, but 2 mana Poisonous, it's already a 5/1, guys. Like, it's basically a Poisonous at that point, but it not being able to attack and having the life total of a napkin, like, what are we expecting this to really be? It's a freaking filler card is what it is. Okay, 2 mana, 2/3, Greedy Partner. Battlecry, if you're holding another 2-cost card, get a coin. That's cool. Getting coins is always pretty legit. I guess Rogue is going to be loving this. But not only, like, any class that plans on cheating out stuff real fast, getting a coin is just very OP. And basically with the Shadow Step with the Brewmaster everybody's getting, this might actually be pretty interesting indeed. I feel like I'm over-exaggerating how strong the Brewmaster is going to be, but it definitely has plenty of different options it's going to be doing silly stuff with, so I can see that happening. So yeah, this card is going to see a lot of play as well. Gold Banner. 2 mana, 1/2. At the end of your turn, draw cards. Honestly, we've seen better things that do the same, like the 1/4, what's it called? The Sinful Sush? No, the whatever the hell that cook was called when you deal 3 damage to the opponent's face. This sitting at 1/2, I don't know. I don't think this is gonna be that good. Like, should have been at least a 2/2 or something, a 1/3 at least. This is just bad. Crooked Cook, exactly. Okay, Howdy Finn. 2 mana, 2/3 Murloc. Whenever your hand has less than 3 cards in it, get a random Murloc in it. Cool, that's something Murloc decks have been struggling with, keeping up the pressure, keeping up the gassage. This might help in that line. I haven't really been delving in any Murloc action lately, so I can't really say for a fact if this is something that Murloc decks are currently struggling with. Not sure if this is what it's holding them back. But generating extra cards when you're lacking cards is always pretty neat, and it's having decent stats for a 2-drop. Has the Murloc tag. Surely it's gonna get included in the Murloc decks whenever they emerge. If and when they emerge. Good tribe card is what I'm trying to say. It's not gonna save the archetype or anything, but it definitely helps the archetype. 2 mana, 1/2 Beast. Trapdoor Spider. Stealth, Poisonous. After your opponent plays a minion, attack it. That's huge. There was this rogue card, the Ganker, or whatever it's called. Some Ganker shit. It was a... what was it? It had some shitty stats. This thing is actually like not a secret, but it's basically like Objection. No, it's basically like Explosive Room for the opponent. Unless they play Divine Shield and whatnot, or just AoE the crap out of it. But it is definitely a decent It's a decent effect. Feels a little bit more like an arena cards, like Gangster, yeah, that kind of deal. Feels a little bit more like arena card. I can't really pinpoint the situation where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have this card in my deck. But who knows? Maybe into the Beast Hunter with the rush and whatnot, maybe that's gonna be interesting. Like 2 mana Poisonous alone is pretty decent with the Beast tag on it. Why not? After all, why not? Okay. Card number 12, a Whelp Wrangler. 2 mana, 2/3 at the end of your turn, get a 1/2 Whelp with Taunt. Giving yourself 1 mana, 1/2 Whelp Taunts is kind of cool. I did see Druid is getting some dragon support, so this might help the class. Like, you are going to want to play a bunch of dragons with that one, so this should be decent in that regard. Should be helping you out. I don't know. It's giving you tribe cards, so if dragon decks really are what they're supposed to be, if they're really good, this is gonna be a staple for those. Like it's kind of like those cards, like the Hawkstrider Rancher kind of deal. Like not in the same way, but you get the picture. The opponent is gonna want to kill this instantly. It's more like the graveyards. Necromancer or whatever he's called, the 2 mana 2/2 summon a 1/3 taunt, basically. This one doesn't summon it, but it gives you extra gas, so definitely sounds like a cool card to be including in dragon decks. Would recommend. Going over to the free drops now. High Noon Duelist. 3 mana 4/3, Death Rattle, both players draw. Destroy the card that costs less. I'm not sure this is really something people are gonna straight up include in their decks. It's a free drop, however, a lot of things discover free drops, so it is definitely gonna be a nuisance in that regard. Might actually screw over some combo decks like that as well. Like, definitely could be a weird situation. But I'm not sure people are gonna be straight up running this. Doesn't even have a tribe or anything, so I don't know. Yeah, seems like the community doesn't know either. Yeah, I don't think people are gonna be running this shit. It's gonna be a wonky discover, that's for sure. Like, people are gonna be shitting their pants when they discover this, so... More random to Hearthstone. Yay! Okay, 3 mana, 3/4 Undead. Battlecry, shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw that many cards. This card is kind of huge. This card is actually kind of insane. This is basically like a glide for everybody. It's like a Sir Finley, extra Sir Finley, basically. It's literally almost the same effect as Finley, except you're not doing it from the bottom and whatnot. I wouldn't say it's better. It's definitely an extra Finley effect, though. And this does help decks that rely on certain cards to remain in your deck, you know? Like, if you want to be doing some sick combos like Animal Companion, King Crush back in the day, it was begging for extra cards like this, not only Finley. And plenty of other cards, like this is probably going to be cool for Plague Death Knight, so they can actually find their Hellia faster, things like that. It's also a well-statted Undead, so that's going to help. So, definitely think this card is going to be pretty good, and so does the community. Okay, 3 mana, Gattlesnake. A 1/5 Beasticle. At the end of your turn, load 2 bullets that deal 1 damage each. Death Rattle, fire at random enemies. That's kind of cute. 2 bullets, so it's basically starting off with 3 mana, 1/5, Death Rattle, deal 2 damage randomly, like a Knife Juggler or whatever. I don't know, feels a little bit weird. I feel like if this was comboed off with maybe number of cards you play on that turn, that would have been some sick rogue card, I guess, like some amazing OTK potential on this one, but at the end of your turn kind of deal, I don't know about that. 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 I don't know Popping in arena? Yeah, it's definitely a decent arena card, that's for sure, but straight up somebody slapping this into their deck and they're like, yeah, this is the perfect card for my deck. I don't know, I'm not seeing that. I'm really not seeing that much. Horseshoe Slinger, 3 mana, 2/2 mech. Battle Cry, deal 2 damage to a random enemy minion. Quick draw and one of its neighbors. Quick draw. This is the first quick draw card, by the way. Took us a while to actually find one, but yeah, quick draw means if you play this on the turn it comes into your hand, you get the quick draw effect. So another reason why people should start thinking about how they're positioning their minions. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy minion and one of its neighbors. I mean, it's kind of hard to really position against this one, but it is a cleave effect, so having it at the back of your mind could help you out. In the end of the day, the least you could do is put down your location in between minions, so that way it can't really cleave anything. So yeah, at a bare minimum, you should be using your location in between your minions because of cards like this. But other than that, I don't feel this card is that amazing, is it? Like, 3 mana, 2/2 mech, that's not what you want from your mechs. It's actually kind of a bad mech card because it's gonna be diluting your mech discover pool for amalgams and whatnot. Not that anybody's discovering mechs through amalgams right now or anything, but if they did, this would be a bad discover for them. Okay. Ogre Gang Outlaw. 3 mana, 4/4 rush, 50 chance to attack the wrong enemy. I always like when they worded to attack the right enemy, but it's kind of the same thing in it. It's a silly card. Nobody's gonna be running this. Are they actually? Now that I think about it, it's a rush. Wait, this can go face? Can this go face? If you rush with this and it chooses to go to the wrong enemy, can it go face? It does. Okay, that's kind of cool. The community doesn't seem to care for this too much, but it's not really an amazing card, but it's a pack filler. Fuck it, like it's a pack filler. But the fact that it can go fast is actually kind of big. It's actually kind of big, and if you discover this randomly, that can be interesting. But I don't know. I don't think. Well, actually, yeah, there's that legendary ogre now that resurrects your ogre gang. So in that line, this could be a card in that deck. Okay, I'm sold. This is... It definitely has merit to it, but all of this 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy kind of deal, it's kind of lame. It is definitely gonna work in the ogre deck, though. We'll look at that later, I guess. We'll check it out. First legendary, 3 mana, 3/3, Flint Firearm. A battle cry, get a random quick draw card. If you play it this turn, repeat this. Okay, this is huge value. I can see this seeing a lot of play in all sorts of decks. Is this just gonna be the new Astalor kind of deal? Like, this is huge amount of value. Yeah, 10 mana popping turn. Refresh mana pop off even harder. This could be definitely tons of value, and yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a goodie. Sitting at 3 mana. Very usable. I'm sure Rogue is gonna love this. Like, play this Shadow Step next turn, play it for only 1 mana. Maybe even something with Bone Spike and whatnot. This is gonna be huge for Rogue, and not only. It's definitely gonna see a lot of play. Okay. Line Dance Partner, 3 mana, 3/2. Battle Cry, if you're holding another free cost card, summon a random free cost minion.
I'm blind.
I don't like it too much. The card type kind of fits for Evolve Shamans kind of deal, like getting extra free drops like this definitely is cool. But I don't know if you're gonna be straight up running this baddie. No, I don't like it too much. Neither does the community. No, just no. Basically. It's also a pretty bad free drop, so it dilutes the free drop discover. Okay. 3 mana 0/5 bounty board. Why is this not a totem? Is a valid question people have been asking. Your excavate, quick draw, tradable, and legendary cards costs 1 less, and legendary cards? Damn, boy. That's kind of huge. People don't agree. That's actually kind of good, guys. I don't know. Does it stack? Probably. Yeah, no, it's not about a cry. It has to stick, but coin this on turn 2 and turn 3 you get to straight up play hell yeah. Not that you can just coin it out anyway, but this could be kind of big. Like 0/5, it's definitely not horrible. This plus Flint. This is actually kind of huge with Flint. Like, you play this on turn 5. No, not on turn 5, but technically this makes Flint turn 5. Sitting at 2 mana with this comboed. And all of the quick draw cards you start playing are also discounted. That can be pretty huge. I don't know. Sounds kind of good to me, but I guess time will tell about that one. Okay. We haven't gone through that many cards just yet. Let's keep at it. I'm gonna take a little break in a few. Okay, 3 mana 4/3 Elemental. Battlecry, if you played an Elemental last turn, discover an Elemental from the past. These from the past shenanigans are kind of annoying to me. Like, I think it kind of takes away from the integrity of the game, but I don't know. It's it feels like not the most amazing Elemental to be running in your deck. Like right now, we almost have a working Elemental mage out there, but I don't think this is a card that actually helps it too much. I think it's kind of on the bad side. So yeah, not a great card, this one. Okay, 4 mana Snake Oil Cellar. This is 4 mana 4/5 Naga. Death Rattle, shuffle 2 tradable Snake Oils into your opponent's deck. I mean, I don't think people will straight up include this into their deck, will they? Oh, actually they will. This is fucking up Highlanders. This is actually gonna mess up Highlanders a lot, so okay, it's actually making a lot of sense now. And you top decking that tradable oil, that's cool and all, gives you extra card draw, but it doesn't because you don't want to be shuffling it back into the deck because you're ruining your Highlander effect again. So yeah, this is going to be pretty cute. Okay, people are not seeing that too well though, but I guess they will soon realize. 4 mana Sheriff Barrel Brim. 4 mana 4/4 Battlecry. If you have 20 or less health, open the Badlands Jail, which is a 4 mana location, which you don't have to pay for because it just pays itself. Has 3 charges and makes minions dormant for 3 turns. That's kind of huge. That's definitely kind of huge. You gotta go down to 20 health in the first place, but Control Priest is gonna be abusing the crap out of this. Warlocks are probably going to abuse the crap out of this, so this is going to be a very, very good control card, I'd say. Definitely see the potential in this one. This is just one extra very, very annoying tool for control decks to fuck you with. The Badland Jails is definitely going to be messing up some pretty decently sized minions. Ogre Gang Rider. 4 mana 3/6. Rush, 50% chance to give your hero +3 attack this turn instead of attacking. That's dumb. Kinda. That's kinda dumb. It does give you potential phase damage, but it is kinda dumb. 4 mana 3/6 with Rush. Not the worst stat line in the world. It's not even an Ogre though. That's kinda lame. If it was an Ogre, maybe, but not an Ogre. I don't think it's really worth talking about. Okay. 4 mana Azurite Chain Gang. Taunt 2/3 Battlecry and Quick Draw. Summon a copy of this, so if you actually play this when you draw it, this is gonna be a 4 mana, 6/9 taunts. That's kind of huge. And if someone has a copy of this, this was the problem with Chain Gang in the first place. They made it into summoning a... No, actually, the Chain Gang's problem was it copied Shutterwalks, wasn't it? So this is copying itself. I don't know. It's a great card. I'm just delving on the fact that is this actually very nerf material? Kind of is, because buff this up. I did see Warrior has some buffs for their taunt minions. So this becoming a bunch of 3/4s as soon as turn 3 or 4, that can be insane. So yeah, this is going to be a huge card, maybe even nerf potential huge card, so you might want to hold on to your extra copies. Rowdy Partner, 4 mana 4/3. If you're holding another 4-cost card, deal 4 damage. It's not horrible, but it's not amazing. Yeah, like I don't see people running this too much. Yeah, I don't think this is that great. Okay, let's see a couple of more and take a minute to rest, say hi and whatnot. 4 mana 3/3 elemental, Dang Blasted Elemental. Taunt, Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to all minions except friendly elementals. That's kind of big. But it's a Death Rattle. I'm not sure I like that too much. It's a neutral Death Rattle with AoE. Maybe it's gonna be decent enough for something like Elemental Mage and whatnot, like any Elemental deck. But sitting at only 2 damage... I mean, we did just see the debacle the Prism Breaker was doing at 3 damage, but this being a Death Rattle, I feel that's a little bit more fair in it. Gives the opponent time to play around it and whatnot, so I don't know, feels like they could have statted it a little better, like at least a 3/4 or something. I don't know, like surely it's gonna see some play if elemental decks are good, but it's not gonna be the most amazing elemental out there. And starting off with the 5 drops, we have a 5 mana 5/4 Ogre Gang Ace. Rush whenever this attacks, gain Divine Shield, 50 chance to gain Lifesteal instead. F. I love how he's holding his cards like a fucking moron. He hasn't looked at it's doing some bluff right now too, innit? But I don't know, it doesn't sound like the brightest bunch. Wait, ogres actually don't have tribe, so that 4 mana 3/6 is also considered an ogre then. Okay, that might actually make it a bit different now that I think about it. But yeah, it all comes down to how good actually ogre decks become, so it's kind of weird. Like, this effect is... At least it's a 5 mana 5/4 rush with an extra effect. Divine Shield is cool and all. Lifesteal can also be cool and all, but they're not exactly interchangeable effects, are they? Like, one is when you want to make a value trade, the other is when you're begging for life, and that's not exactly something you want to have a 50-50 on. But this is the reality it lives in. 5 mana 6/4 Mech, Burrow Buster, Rush, Battlecry, Excavate, a Treasure. It's an Excavate card, bit expensive in it, but it does have Rush, it has the Mech tag, so it can fit into those decks. I don't think you're gonna slap this into any old Excavation deck though. It's a little bit too expensive for that. Depends on how much Excavate the classes actually have in their disposal, but it does feel a tad expensive to me. Could be interesting maybe for some Mech decks. Discount this with, what was that, 3 mana Mage card? Maybe it's gonna work, but I don't know. I think it's not gonna be a one-size-fits-all just because it has Excavate on it kind of deal. You could discover it though, so that's kind of cute. Cattle Rustler. 5 mana, 3/4, Battlecry, draw a beast. It costs 3 less. Okay. You can actually pull King Crush like this a lot faster. This could actually help some animal companion hunters come back to life or something. I'm really not sure. It definitely kind of screams like a hunter cards. But depends on what other beasts are out there right now. Like, it also draws you a lot of the colossals out there nowadays. Like, plenty of the colossals are actually beasts, so this is basically a 5 mana. Almost guaranteed that you're going to be drawing your colossal like this. So that can give some pretty sick turn 6 or even turn 5 potentials. Like, coin this on turn 4 and suddenly turn 5 you're playing a colossal, which was supposed to cost about 7 or 8 mana. That could work. So this might actually see some play. It's gonna take a specific deck. It's not gonna be for everybody, obviously, but it is gonna see play, I do believe, even though the stats are a little bit on the lower end. 6 mana, 6/6 dragon, tradable, lifesteal, quick draw, deal 6 damage. That's kind of sick. That's real huge. It's tradable. It has lifesteal. It's a dragon. And it also Battlecry basically deals 6 damage. And you get the target to go face with this? Surely this is gonna be huge. Seems like the community is on the same page. It's real strong, real strong. It also has the tradable on it, so really no downside to be running this in any deck that cares about dragons, or any deck that actually cares about healing, honestly. And the damage is not small. The damage is far from small here. It is smallent, so this is going to be a huge card. It's neutral, so right about anybody could be running this. And it's going to be a relatively strong card for right about anybody, honestly. But, yeah, I feel like this might actually get nerfed soon. 6 mana, 6/7, Kingpin Pud. This is the Ogre Gang guy. And he resurrects all of your ogres and gives them Wind Fury so that maybe one of the time they can do what they're intended for. Maybe the Ogre Gang bullshittery is gonna be somewhat interesting, but this card alone is not gonna make ogres good. This card alone ain't gonna be solving the problems ogres inherently possess, being the 50% do stupid things kind of deal. Yeah, people are somewhat okay with it, but yeah, perfect stats for the mana cost indeed. Okay, we have the Thunderbringer, which is an okay-ish card as we saw. It's also a beast, so this is something you can actually tether out with Cattle Rustler faster. But yeah, with the Colossal Elemental in the game right now, with some big beasts out there, this can definitely be a bit better than I firstly anticipated. Like, for some reason at first I thought this was only drawing those beasts and elementals in your hand, but no, it's actually summoning them, so that can be kind of huge. But it is a little bit expensive now, isn't it? And also, Cattle Rustler, like, if you try to draw this faster, you also run the risk of drawing the big beast you're trying to tether out faster, so that's kind of weird. Okay, we have a hero cards. The neutral Reno Lone Ranger. If your deck has no duplicates, empty the enemy's board, including his locations, by the way, and dormant shit and anything. And limit it to 1 minion for a turn. It's high noon, partner. Yeah, that's kind of huge. It's real big, like clearing the whole boards. Is this also gonna be like a whirlpool effect? Like they're just getting removed out of a rest pool and anything? They're not getting you can't discover them from the rest pool or anything? Yes. Okay, so that's even bigger. Yeah, this seems to be the Yag of the expansion, not gonna lie. Like, this is probably gonna be the Yag of the expansion. Everybody's gonna be running this crap and nobody's gonna have too much fun with it. Like, everybody's gonna have a lot of fun with it, but it's a Highlander card, so at least it has a fat restriction attached to it, but it's kind of huge. Yeah, this removes the Warlock Titan portal as well, like literally everything, so definitely a very big insta include card for any Highlander deck, basically. So a little bit too strong, if you ask me. A little bit too strong in it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess Highlander cards are supposed to be this strong. Like, if you're running only a single of each card, there is a reason for you to be running these neutrals like they're supposed to be OP and no-brainer inclusions. Like Zephyrus was like that, Reno was like that. So yeah, obviously it's gonna be strong as hell, but this might be in for a nerf. The revolving hero powers are again sitting at 2 mana and gets a random bullet each time. So deal 2 damage, refresh 2 mana crystals, that's huge, but not really, because technically this you're still paying the 2 mana for it. But then again, if you actually have a tour guide in play already, this could effectively buy you the 2 extra mana for that turn. So that can be interesting. Fell bullet, draw cards, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Gain 4 armor, give a friendly minion +2/+2. This is on the board, right? That can be kind of cool. Discover a spell, and summon a random free cost minion. Yeah, good stuff. Can this actually get the same bullet twice though? Or does it always switch over to the something else? That's an interesting little intricacy to ponder on. But yeah, all around this is going to be a huge card, like 5 stars, no brainer. Auto include in any Highlander deck, that's for sure. And the last neutral card is the 8 mana 8/8 Elemental. Costs 1 less for each turn in a row you've played an Elemental. So basically this can be a turn 4 8/8. That's kind of big. Yeah, this is gonna definitely help Elemental decks, that's for sure. Would have been even stronger if it had some rush action attached to it, but 4 mana 8/8, I don't know, sounds good to me. It's a little bit tricky because you are going to have to get very lucky with all the elementals and whatnot, so there's that. But definitely is potentially very strong high roll for you. So I think Elemental Mage might really love this. Okay, that's it for all the neutral cards. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick little recap of them. I'm definitely talking a lot. Let's start off with all the class cards. Let's hit it off with all of them class cards, see what we're working with. Starting off with Death Knight, we have 10 cards for Death Knight, which is honestly far from enough to give meaningful support to all the rune archetypes. Feels like they're gonna be giving a particular gem, particular rune, a bit more support each time for it to actually have some meaningful impact. I don't know, I'm not sure how much I like that, but it is what it is. Starting off with the 1 mana Fistful of Corpses. Deal damage to a minion equal to your corpses. This is kind of huge because it's not taking away your corpses. It's a blood unholy card. So you could be seeing this in Plague Death Knight right now with the blood package. And it's basically like a shield slam that, again, doesn't take away your corpses, which is really, really decent. And it's going to help in removing some very, very tall targets. Like, you can literally remove a 10 health minion like nobody's business super early, like turn 5. You are going to have potentially 10 plus corpses, so that can be huge. Thank you very much for the subscribe, Hut. Welcome to the stream. You know it, my guy. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, decent card. Definitely will see play for Blood Unholy decks. Pile of Bones, the 2 mana 2/1 undead. Death Rattle, the next time you excavate, resummon this. Sounds strong. It's basically giving you free corpses if you're excavating. It's a blue and green card, which is a little bit off odds. I guess, again, Plague Decay with the blue package could be interested in something like this. But I'm really not sure if it's that amazing. Like, maybe if it was a 2/2 at least or something. Feels a little bit on the low end. And also, how is this gonna get resummoned? It's not like gonna go dormant or anything. It's just gonna pop out of nowhere. Is that the idea? I guess on that line it's kind of cool because you don't have to sacrifice spots for it. So if you're an Excavate Plague Decay, this should be helping you play the Excavates without actually having to sacrifice too much tempo. So it should be a decent card. Honestly, like, if Excavate Death Knight is good, this should be decent in it. Okay, 3 mana, reap what you sow. Deal 3 damage, excavate a treasure. Well, that's a pretty decent excavate. It's also deal 3 damage, so that can go face. It's a blue card. This might actually help out Decay, Blue Decay being good again. Like Frost Decay with, what was that legendary that copies your frost spells? What was she called? Death Whisper? Lady Death Whisper. Yeah, this can be actually kind of huge. Like, it also helps you excavate a bunch more. I can see Frost Decay getting back from this card. It's not a frost spell? What is it then? Oh, I know it doesn't have the frost spell. It's just a frost rune is what I'm trying to say. Oh, right, Death Whisper was copying only frost spells. Charu. Okay. Well, true. Good observation. But still, decent cards, and excavating while dealing damage to a minion or face sounds good to me. But yeah, missing the frost tag is kind of huge, because if it was actually a frost spell, you could have discovered a lot of extra copies of this. Okay, Farmhand. Double Unholy. 3 mana, 4/3 Undead. Battle Cry, discover an undead. Quick draw, it costs 2 less. That's kind of cool. And it costs permanently 2 less, so you could discover something like a 6 mana Marrowgar. That can be insane. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty good card. I'm not sure if it fits straight up into Triple Unholy, but it's definitely a pretty cool card, and yeah, the artwork is pretty fun as well. Farmhand. Okay, Mr. Literal. Okay, 3 mana, single Unholy Rune, Corpse Farm. Spend up to 8 corpses to summon a random minion of that cost. Trash? I'm gonna call that trash. It's trash, right? Get rid of runes? I don't think that's happening, man. Would entirely mess up the class. It's definitely a bit complicated with all of them runes, but that is what the class is supposed to be now, isn't it? Corpse Spender to buff, oh. Maybe this actually would be interesting in terms of spending your corpses efficiently. Yeah, I can see that. What was CNE? Like the triple rainbow cards that deals damage? Yeah, rainbow DK cards. Yeah, the legendary might actually benefit from this big time spending this big amount of corpses like that. Corpse Explosion also does the same thing, but Corpse Explosion was a double blood card, so you can't really run it in rainbow. Cool card. In that line of thinking, if the rainbow Death Knight emerges, this might actually be a great way to spend corpses indeed. Crop Rotation. 3 mana, single Unholy, summon 4 1/1 undead with rush that die at the end of turn. Okay, this leaves corpses for you, so that's kind of cool. So that's a 3 mana gain 4 corpses and a 4/4 rush. That's kind of big. Real good cards. Nice and able to help you out. Gives me a little bit of Demon Hunter vibe, honestly, but definitely a good card. Maw and Paw, a 4 mana, single blood, single unholy, 1/8 undead. At the end of your turn, gain 5 corpses. At the start of your turn, spend 5 corpses to give your hero +5 health. Oh boy, well, that's kind of huge. This is a freaking 1/8, chat. 4 mana 1/8. There's not a single minion with this amount of health on turn 4, is there? Aside from some giant shenanigans, but 8 mana, I mean 4 mana, 8 health, that's kind of huge. It's basically a taunt. Edwin, yeah, sure. But yeah, this is actually a very, very big card, and giving you nice little way to spend corpses again to gain health. That's kind of big. So yeah, this should be a pretty decent card. Again, single unholy, single blood. I can see that happening. 4 mana, 3/3 undead, skeleton crew, battle cry, excavate a treasure. It costs 0. Wait, so if you use this to excavate the last bonus, the last treasure, it can give you the biggest payoff for 0? Isn't that broken? That is broken. That's broken as hell. That is broken as hell. Can you guys send me the page where all the excavation treasures are listed? Because I think that's important for us to actually go over. Yeah, this is probably the best excavate card indeed, and it might see a nerf indeed. Sitting at 5 mana might be a bit more fair. But a 0 mana treasure can be huge. 7 mana single frost cards, 7/7 undead beasticle. Taunt battlecry if you've excavated twice. Your next card this turn costs 7 less. So you basically get a 7/7 taunt for free. Attached to the next card, 7 less. It's kind of sucky that it is this turn, but you could technically play this with a 7 mana Frostworm as well, and that's kind of cool. But yeah, this should be a decent card, even though it's sitting at 7 mana. A bit expensive, but I can see it being pretty decent indeed, and people are seeing it being pretty good as well. And the last legendary for Death Knight is 20 mana 6/3 undead. Hey, thank you very much for the subscribe, Trim. 61
Leroy
months
Jenkins.
strong.
Whoa, time flies 61 already.
It really
Coming to a
does.
funny number in the summer?
Very, very soon, in a summer near you. Thank you very much, Trim. Much appreciated. This is the second subscriber of the day. Let me actually resemble that. Okay, there we go. Thanks again, guys. Much appreciated. So, this is a 20 mana 6/3 undead. Rush costs 1 less for each minion that died this game. Death Rattle, take control of a random enemy minion. Okay. Plenty of things need to die for this, but I can see this dropping as soon as turn 5 or 6. Like, it's not only your minions, it's theirs as well, so this can drop real fast, and it also has the Sylvanas effect attached to it, so this can be huge. This can be huge. Good card for show. It has Frost and Unholy tag on it, so could be a rainbow card or whatnot. Could fit in Frost Plague Decay or something. Should be decent. Okay, yeah, let's look at all the excavation rewards. I think it's good as time as any to look at all the excavations. The 1 mana treasures give you a 1 mana 2/2 with Rush. 1 mana discover a 2-cost card. It costs 0. Pouch of coins. 1 mana get 2 coins. That's cool. 1 mana deal 3 damage. Sounds good. 1 mana restore 3 health. Draw a card. Well, honestly, all of these are actually pretty decent. As your first treasures. The first time you excavate in a given game, you get a random 1 mana treasure. There are 5 options in total. The second time you excavate, you get a random 2 mana treasure, rare. There are 5 options again. The third time you excavate, you get a random 3 mana treasure, epic. 5 options. Okay. What happens next depends on your class. In 6 out of 11 classes, let's call them non-excavate classes, you simply repeat the cycle. 4 excavates gives you a 1 mana treasure. 5 to 2. Okay, so that sucks for some classes, huh? Non-excavate classes are Demon Hunter, Druid, Hunter, Paladin, Priest, and Shaman. Those can still take advantage of excavate cards when randomly generated, but they probably shouldn't focus on this mechanic. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, the other 5 classes specialize in excavate and get an extra step. Excavate classes are Death Knight, Mage, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. Instead of repeating the cycle, the third treasure they get, after the third treasure, they get a special powerful 4 mana legendary treasure. This one isn't random. Every class has a unique treasure only they can get. Then after the 4th excavation, the cycle starts over just like with non-excavate classes. So your 5th gives 1. Okay, I get it. Okay, so technically you could even get a second big excavate reward, but you have to excavate 8 times for that, huh? That's kind of interesting. That's almost in... Oh, Looking interesting indeed. Okay, so the 1 mana treasures, all of them look pretty decent. 2 mana is discover a free cost card. It costs 0. Sitting at 2 mana, it's acceptable. It's acceptable. 2 mana, 2/1 beast. Return an enemy minion to its owner's hand. Okay. Kind of weirdly worded, like, shouldn't it be return an enemy minion to the enemy's hands? Whatever. 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion and the enemy hero. That's kind of good. Glowing Glyph, 2 mana, give a minion and its neighbors +1/+2. Okay, you might want to position properly for this one, like not put a location in between your minions. 2 mana, Living Stone, 2/4 Elemental, Taunt, Death Rattle, summon a random 2-cost minion. Okay, so yeah, all of the 2-drop Excavates are also pretty good. You get one of these, you get 3 options, right? Like when you discover Excavate, you get one of these 5, but only 3 options. You're not guaranteed every time to get all 5 shown, right? Pretty sure. Oh, it's 1 random. You don't even get to pick. You don't discover. Okay, I mean, I guess, but they're all decent. They're all pretty decent. You're not discovering, you're just straight up getting them. Okay. Okay, 3 mana Epic Treasures, Azurite Gem, discover a 5-cost card, it costs 0. Okay, now we're talking. And you get to discover and play it whenever you want. 3 mana Collapse, deal 3 damage to all enemies, including the face, so it's like a Hellfire for the opponent, that's kind of cool. Mother Lode Drake, 4/3 Dragon, a Rush, Divine Shield, and Lifesteal. So that's like a mini Zilliax, and it actually has bigger attack than Zilliax. That's kind of cool. Ogre Fist Boulder is a location set of minion stats to a 6/7. That's kind of huge. Like 3 mana, make your 1/1s into a 6/7. That's kind of big. And you can actually insta attack with this, so that's kind of cool. And the Steelhide Mole, Taunt, Reborn, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. 3 mana, 2/7, Taunt and Reborn. Kind of big. So big, pretty chunky indeed. Okay. Enough about the random shit. Now let's check out the Excavation 4th time rewards for the Excavation classes, starting off with Death Knight. We have a 4 mana, 5/5 Elemental Beast. Battlecry, resurrect your highest cost minion. Give it +2/+2, Reborn, and Lifesteal. Okay. Cagehead, question mark? Not really. What are we trying to resurrect with this, guys? Primus. Yeah, Primus is good. I guess the 20 cost can get reborn like that as well, indeed. That's kind of cool. Okay, decent. Pretty good stuff. It's Elemental Beast, Reborn, and Lifesteal. Like, getting the rush with Reborn and Lifesteal like that, that's gonna be insane. And also, your Titan can be huge like that. I can definitely see this being pretty problematic and worth excavating for. The Azurite Snake for Warlock is a Battlecry. Your hero steals 10 health from the enemy hero, which is insane. Like, it's a Pyroblast, which heals you for 10. Like, Pyroblast with Lifesteal, basically. Wait, this actually goes above 30, doesn't it? This can make you into a 45 Warlock? It's even better than a Pyroblast then. Jesus. It's insane. And it also lowers the opponent's health. Oh my goodness, this is brutal. Okay, this definitely is getting nerfed, right? Right? Literally takes away the health and gives it to you. Insane. Insane. It can also kill opponents through their armor, by the way, so Warrior is going to be shitting their pants against Warlocks. Like, how many times has a Warrior gotten 20 armor while sitting at 1 health? Too many, if you ask me. So yeah, this is definitely very brutal. Bypasses hero immunity as well, so Ice Block, Solid Alibi, everything goes to the dumpster. Damn, that's insane. Yeah, this Azurite Snake is brutal. And you're definitely going to want to bounce this back with the Brewmaster, right? So I can definitely see this thing getting nerfed real fast. And if this gets nerfed, would all neutral Excavate cards get refunds? And only the class Excavate cards get a refund? Surely. I'm pretty sure time will tell, guys. I'm pretty sure this thing is getting slapped. Okay, the 4 mana 5/5 Mage Excavate Treasure is Battlecry, get a random Titan, it costs 1. Okay, you don't discover it, you just get it, it costs 1. Not horrible, it's basically like a Queen Ashara kind of deal. Pretty much same concept. Yeah, all Titans are good for 1 mana, but are you gonna make your entire deck into an Excavate deck for this reward at the end? That's the real question. Like, you're kind of revolving the entire deck around this Excavation, and this is... that is not an Azurite Snake, I can tell you that much. That's no snake. That is no snake, guys. I don't know, feels like the Mage one is a little bit on the underwhelming side, but it's fine, like... nobody said Queen Ashara is horrible, but it's definitely not the level of Azurite Snake now, is it? Yeah, pretty much. The Rogue Excavate is the Azurite Scorpion. It's a 5/5 Battlecry. Get 4 random spells. If you've excavated 8 times, they cost 0. I guess for Rogue is actually going to be very easy to excavate 8 times because they can Shadow Step bounce the shit out of all of those excavates. So this is not exactly the tallest task of the bunch, chat. Far from it. Get 4 random spells. Is that really the best payoff? Is this really a payoff worth excavating for? That's the real question. Kinda looks a little bit questionable here. I'm not sure if the Rogue Excavate is going to be taking off. Feels a bit more like a meme kind of deal, but it's Rogue. Like, obviously could be very wrong about that one. The Azurite Ox. Battlecry, discover 2 8-cost minions, summon them. Jesus, okay, that's kind of sick. That's kind of sick, isn't it? Definitely is strong. If I had to rate the power level of these, I'd say Snake, Rat, Ox, Scorpion, Hawk, something like that. So Warlock best Excavate deck? Question mark. Death Knight second, Warrior third, Rogue Mage, something along those lines. Yeah, Warrior stonks definitely are going up, aren't they? Okay, starting off now with Demon Hunter. Oasis Outlaws. 1 mana, discover a Naga. If you've played Naga while holding this, reduce its cost by 1. Discover a Naga. If you've played a Naga while holding this, reduce its cost by 1. Okay, can this help can this help big Demon Hunter a wee bit? I don't know. I think my brain is getting a little bit fried here. I need to read things twice now to actually comprehend a little bit. But, yeah. Okay. 2 mana 3/2 Naga. Parched Desperado. Battlecry, if you've cast a spell while holding this, give your hero +3 attack this turn. That can be decent. Maybe some aggro Demon Hunter is gonna emerge again with a little bit of help of this. 2 mana 3/1 Mech, Bartendobot, that's funny. Battlecry, draw an outcast card and slide it to the left side of your hand. This is a pretty fun, cool mechanic. Definitely like it big time. It's like, with outcast cards, you always run the risk of top decking them on a turn you can't play them, and after that, they just keep on getting dumpstered in the middle of your hands. But with this one, it's a very, very cool mechanic. I would love to see a little bit more of this support for Demon Hunter to help with their outcast shenanigans. Like maybe even a card that can target in your hand to slide stuff like that, you know? That would be fun. So yeah, this card is... I mean, it's a 2 mana 3/1 and it draws a card. that alone is pretty good. But the effect is just pretty amazing for the class. 2 mana Pocket Sand. Deal 3 damage, quick draw. Your opponent's next card costs 1 more. Well, 2 mana free damage is usually pretty cool. And with the 1 cost more, this can screw around with a lot of combo decks. Like if you're paying attention for the opponent, like let's say you're against Odin Warrior, you're going to be playing this on turn 8 for them so they can go for turn 9. Can't play their Odin yet, that kind of deal. This can be very, very fun and interactive, and very unfun and non-interactive for the opponent kind of deal. So pretty good cards. 3 mana, Load the Chamber. Deal 2 damage. Your next Naga, Fell Spell, and weapon costs 1 less. Quick draw, I guess. Yeah, you can't really set it up like that too well, but still. You can discover it and play it like that. You can also Bartendo bot like that and discover it that turn. It can definitely be tethered proactively kind of deal. Okay, 3 mana, Load the Chamber. Deal 2 damage. Your next Naga, Fell Spell, and weapon costs 1 less. Okay, it's a little bit pricey, but you are definitely getting a lot of discount action here, and you also have a little bit of damage on top of that, so you could be a little bit... Oh yeah, Bartendo can't draw it. Why you gotta always be right, man? Like, fuck. But I guess with Finley or some shit like that, you can draw a bunch of cards and hopefully get it on time. But yeah, deal 2 damage and all of these things costing 1 less. Not non-restricted when. Pretty decent. Should be good. Like every time you get the discount mana cheat like that, this high, surely it's gonna be good like that. 3 mana, Blind Eye Sharpshooter. 1/5 Naga. After you play a Naga, deal 2 damage to a random enemy and draw a spell, then switch. What do I switch to? Is it after you play a spell, deal 2 damage and draw a Naga? Cool. Okay, so it's basically like Mage, but for this thing and you don't get stuff. It's an OTK card. Yeah, Naga Mage. That's kind of cool. Especially combo with the mana cheat. It can help big time. So yeah, this might actually be an archetype. You don't get mana. True, but same concept. It's a lot of damage potentially. Snake Eyes, 3 mana legendary. Battle Cry, roll 2 dice, then discover 2 cards of those costs. Doubles, get an extra discover. That's kind of cool, but a little bit RNG-ish. Bit RNG, isn't it? Discover 2 cards of those costs. I guess it's kind of cool, like 3 mana, 2/3 Naga that discovers twice for you, basically, potentially 3 times. Could be pretty decent indeed. But yeah, it's a good card, nice and high value. Fan the Hammer. Deal 6 damage, split among the lowest health enemies. That's a lot of damage. Does DH need value though? Don't we all? I don't know. Don't we all? Okay, 4 mana, deal 6 damage. What does amongst the lowest health enemies mean? Like it's gonna split between 2 minions? Like even if there's a 6/6 and a 4 health enemy, this is gonna be dealing 3 damage each? Is that it?
I'm blind.
It doesn't say the 2 lowest health enemies. I need elaboration. What does this do? Oh. So once it kills the lowest health, it moves on to the next lowest health. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, that's kind of cool. You can get some pretty interesting lethal outs like this, I guess. Fun. Bit expensive, but definitely decent to get discovered. Surely it's gonna get picked up, though. Surely some archetype is gonna get huge value out of this at some point. Maybe not now, maybe not soon, but surely this card is gonna be good at some point, I think. Gunslinger Kurtrus. 5 mana, 4/6. If your deck has no duplicates, fire 6 random 2 damage shots at minions in the enemy's hand. Okay, so you can basically discard opponents' cards like this. Or you can also severely damage them, like a 4/6 taunt becomes a 4/2 or some shit like that. 6 times, so what does this take off from, though? Can it hit spells? Oh, it's at minions. I'm blind. Yeah, it says minions right there. What do you mean? Okay, yeah, it's kind of cool. If a minion goes down to 0 health, it is discarded. That's kind of cool.
You are not prepared.
Yep,
I'm
seems
blind.
like it. Apparently that's what it can do. It's cool. A little bit steep to be a Highlander for this effect, but if you are a Highlander deck, this is gonna be a good card. Not that many Highlander effects though. I'm not sure you're gonna go straight up Highlander because of this guy. Feels a little bit on the iffy side. And we have a 6 mana 6/6 Beast Rush. Summon a copy of this when it's outcasted. Damn, so 6 mana 12/12 Rush. That's kind of huge. What do you mean later, Crested? This is... We ran over all of the neutrals and we ran over all of the Demon Hunters, so... The only reason would be the Reno, and I'm not sure the Reno's that big. But yeah, this one's kind of cool. Definitely see this one picking up. Sitting at 6 mana should be pretty decent. Okay, that's it for the Demon Hunter. Moving down to some Druid action. Yep, already saw it. It's a cool card, but I'm not sure if you're gonna go straight up Highlander just because of it. So yeah, I'm not sure how good that is. Okay, moving down to Druid. Let's check out the Druid Stone. 1 mana Cactus Construct. Discover a 2-cost minion. Summon a 1/2 copy of it. So you discover the 2-cost minion in your hand, but you summon a 1/2 copy of it. Is that it? It's a nature spell, by the way. Really, really good. I guess in aggro it could. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's decent. Discover a 2-cost minion, summon a 1/2 copy of it. I guess turn 1 you play this, it's basically a 1-drop, 2-drop. And on turn 2 you can play it a 2-drop as well. So it can be decent-ish. Surely it's gonna be good for aggro. I've dropped this YouTube mix so many times, man. What do you mean? You should have it by now. Okay, 2 mana, 2/1. Splish Splash Whelp. Dragon. Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, gain an empty mana crystal. That's huge. Why did they give Dragon Druid so much ramp, by the way? We used to have the 2 mana, what's it called? Draw card ramp. This is gonna be pretty good for Druids. Dragon Druid, that is. 2 mana Rehydrate. It's a nature spell, restores 7 health. Quick draw, refresh 2 mana crystals. So basically 0 mana restores 7 health is what they're trying to say, huh? Not bad, I guess. Not bad. You can also discover it, so you could clutch it. It can actually also get discounted by your Blossom, so at that point, this refresh is mana gain, so this going down to 0. But it's a quick draw, so no, not really, not really. Never mind. It's an okay card, but nothing to write home about, I think. 2 mana Dragon Tails. Choose 1. Get 2 random dragons that cost 5 or less. Or get 2 that costs more than 5. Okay. I guess it gives you a ton of gas to do the dragon things, but... Am I missing something here? Like, is this somehow insanely broken? I guess you can also do the forge thing and get 4 dragons in total, but it's probably gonna be not what you want to be doing. Weird, weird. Yeah, Dragon Pool and Standard is okay, I guess. Yeah, in Wild, just too many. Okay, I guess this gives you a lot of support for the dragon shenanigans we're about to witness real soon. 3 mana, take to the skies. Draw 2 dragons, give them +1/+1. Sitting at 3 mana, a bit expensive, but again, thins out your deck, gives you buffs, and gives you tribes, which is huge, so surely is gonna be good. 4 mana, 5/4, dragon. Spinetail Drake. Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, deal 5 damage to an enemy minion. If you're holding a dragon, deal 5 damage to an enemy minion. It's pretty decent. Basically, it's basically a 5/4 rush that doesn't take the damage, so it's pretty good. Doesn't care about taunts and whatnot. Surely it's gonna be a very nice curve for you. Like, you play this and you basically ensure the board is empty and you stick a fat dragon while doing so that's pretty cool. Okay, 4 mana, 3/5 dragon. Taunt Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, refresh 4 mana crystals. $4. If you're holding a dragon, refresh 4 mana crystals. Well, you basically play this one for free. And yeah, 0 mana, 3/5 taunt. And a dragon. Definitely is pretty good, so yeah, wow. This is maybe the highest rated cards so far. Cool. 7 mana, 3/4 Dragon Golem. Taunt Battlecry, summon a copy of this for each dragon in your hand. Damn, boy. Okay. This can be pretty sick. And you can actually buff this to a 4/5 with the draw 2 dragons given +1/+1. So yeah, this is again a pretty good card. Takes a little bit of setup, but definitely is pretty decent. Okay, now let's check out that legendary that makes it all worth it. 8 mana, 8/8 dragon. Restraza. Battlecry, if your deck has no duplicates, summon the Purified Dragon Nest. Say what? At the start of your turn, discover a dragon that costs 4 less. Damn, man. Is this like a location kind of deal? Like the portal? Yeah, only Reno can remove it. Pretty sick indeed. Yeah, Sergera's portal. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, Reno can make short work of this, so you might want to wait around and see if they play their Reno on curve and then play it out. But yeah, that's kind of strong with the good dragons in standard right now. Phi, the Setting Sun. 9 mana, 4/12 dragon, rush, lifesteal, taunt. Costs 1 less for each dragon you've summoned this game. And this is summoned, not played, so that guy that the 7 mana that summons copy of itself, this is discounting even further. So this is again another 0 mana dragon, basically, it seems. Pretty strong. And rush, lifesteal, and taunt, that's just huge stabilization potential. Gonna be crazy good now, innit? QL. Yeah, all around Druid class is looking nothing but dragons basically in it. Like, so hard. Dragon support and a little bit of this thing here, but all around. Dragon should be the new way to go for Druid. Now we're moving down to Hunter action. With Hunter, we have a 1 mana spell, Sneaky Snakes. Summon 2 1/1 snakes with stealth. That's strong. That's basically a 1 mana 2/2 on turn 1. Gives you stealth as well. Would be absolute murder for paladins. So that's a pretty strong card. Messenger Buzzard. Should I even open up these? Like, feel like I'm slowing myself down with opening them. Unless there's some token action. Messenger Buzzer, 2 mana, 1/2. Death Rattle, draw a beast, give minions in your hand, +1/+1. Wow, that's kind of strong, man. 2 mana, 1/2 beast, draw a beast, and give minions in your hand, +1/+1. That's real good. Surely this is gonna support Beast Hunter a lot. 10-gallon hat. Draw a minion, give it +1/+1, and Death Rattle, get a 10-gallon hat. So it's a 2 mana +1/+1. But it also draws a minion. Okay, it's good, it's good. Yeah, helping you draw and getting the +1, it's huge. Like, for some reason I only saw the +1 part for 2 mana. That is very far from the truth. This card is gonna be huge. Like, gives you so much gas. Such a strong card draw engine indeed. And if the opponent can't silence it, this is gonna be pretty strong like that. 3 mana, 2/3 beast, Silver Serpent, Rush, Poisonous, quick draw, gain immune this turn. That's huge. That's real huge. Like, Rush, Poisonous, and gain immune if you get it on a quick draw. That would be insanely strong. Pretty good beasticle to have in your arsenal of beasticles. 3 mana, Saddle Up. Give your minions Death Rattle, summon a random beast that costs 3 or less. I'm starting to... My brain is trying to get fried, guys, not gonna lie. 3 mana, Saddle Up. Give your minions Death Rattle, summon a random beast that costs 3 or less. Okay, so that's freaking huge, actually, damn. That's like Druid's 4 mana, give 2/2 Trends Death Rattle. Makes your board very sticky. Makes the board very sticky and helps a lot. Helps a lot indeed. Jump on the call. I mean, that would help. It would make it a little bit weird, though. I am planning to make a video out of this at the end, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna try and duke it out. You're probably noticing me butchering some of these for sure. But so far, you've been doing a good job in chat, protecting me from making a fool out of myself too much. So keep doing that, I'd say. But yeah, I'm definitely getting a little bit tired. This is a lot of talking, man. Like, when I'm doing this alone, it's a lot of reading, but also talking at the same time. It's kind of huge. It's kind of huge. I also did a little bit of a bit more talk intensive video today. I was coughing my guts out half the time. Had to do some heavy edits on it later. I'm actually surprised my voice hasn't gone already. But yeah, let's see if I can keep this shit up. Well, we got through the neutrals as well, so shut up. Shut up. 3 mana, 3/3 undead beast. I was gonna say undead best. Bovine Skeleton. Death Rattle. If this has 4 or more attacks, summon a Bovine Skeleton. That's kind of cute. I guess it's gonna be somewhat easy to get the buff on it with the 10-gallon hat. Also the bananas and whatnot, so this should be a pretty strong card. Kinda love it. 4 mana, Teldurin the Lost. 4 mana, 3/4, Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, gain immune this turn and attack all enemies. Okay, kind sir, that's kind of huge. Jesus, I guess this is a fat reason to be Highlander for Hunter. This can draw it. It's a minion, not a beast. Other than that, how can you buff this in your hand, though? Like, you can't put bananas on it exactly. You have to have it pre-buffed, so... But still, all around, attacks all enemies, face included. So it's like a mini Olgra that doesn't kill herself. It's kind of good. It's kind of good. I'm not sure, again, if it's a reason enough to go Highlander right now for Hunter, but it definitely is a strong card if it wasn't a Highlander especially, but it is. Still, should be strong, I'd say. Camouflage Mount. 4 mana, spell, give a random minion +3/+3 and a random bonus effect. When it dies, summon a chameleon. What is this chameleon? A 3 mana, 3/3 Divine Shield. Oh, it's not necessarily Divine Shield. It's gonna have the keywords which you got randomly, the bonus effect. So it could be Divine Shield, Taunt, Rush, Lifesteal, Stealth, Poisonous, Lifesteal. Why do we have Lifesteal second? Seems like somebody botched it. Is this 7 effects? And Reborn. It's 7 effects, right? Is Lifesteal intentionally twice? Is Lifesteal the most common one or what? No, right? It's just a typo. I mean, I wouldn't be super surprised, but yeah, I guess somebody messed it up. So yeah, 1 in 7 to get one of those effects, and Free Chameleon is gonna have that effect as well. Pretty decent cards. It's a buff, so you get to slap face with it hard if the opponent's not careful, so all around good stuff. There's no Wind Fury though, right? Yeah, there's no Wind Fury. That would have been pretty big. Wind Fury would have been murder. Did they maybe miss Wind Fury though? What do you guys think? Does this thing legit have the chance of getting Wind Fury, or somebody just botched it? Have we seen this? It is Wind Fury. Okay, so that's a little bit crappy. Like having Wind Fury on this randomly, like a +3/+3, and get Wind Fury out of nowhere, 1 in 8 like that. I guess you could be trying to throw some Hail Marys like that, but awfully unreliable, innit? Awfully unreliable. It would have been a bit better for the cards if it actually stated, like, you guys remember the treasures or whatever the hell they were called from the Catacombs and Kobolds? Like, as soon as you draw it, it shows you what it's gonna be the effect. This one, I think, would have been a bit better of a card if it actually did that as well, because now you just pay 4 mana for a +3/3 and get some absolute random nonsense. Like, if you're already full health and you get Lifesteal, great, you paid 4 mana for a +3/+3. But even then, it's kind of big because you still get a Death Rattle 3/3 on the board. So, not the worst in the world, but I really think it would have been a bit better if it actually stated what it would be as soon as you draw it. It is a lot of stats. It is good. Okay, 4 mana 2/3 weapon, Star Shooter. After your hero attacks, get an Arcane Shot. That's kind of huge. Arcane Shots are kind of huge like that. You get to get 3 Arcane Shots like that, and maybe even more if you give it extra durability through different ways. And this is going to be a pretty good card for Arcane Hunter, I'm assuming. A little bit low on the damage action, but I can see this working out. I can see this being decent. And last but not least, we have the legendary 5 mana 2/5 Beast, Battlecry and Death Rattle, Spurfang. Summon a random beast with cost equal to this minion's attack. Summon a random beast with cost equal to this minion's attack. Well, we have plenty of ways to buff, as you guys saw. It is a bit slow, but it's a Battlecry and Death Rattle, so problem with the Battlecry effect is it's gonna take a while for you to actually buff it from hand. We don't have that many ways to actually buff from hand. We saw the 1/2 that buffs your hand, and also the Gallon Hat if you get lucky. So this could be easily a 4/7. So random 4-drop beasts, I guess there are a few pretty good ones, rush ones and whatnot. It's not gonna be super hard to make this into King Crush territory after it's on the board for the Death Rattle though, but it's a little bit slow. Good with Naphanos. At this point, I don't even remember who the fuck Naphanos was. But yeah, Hunter seems to be going for some beast orientation. Should be interesting. Okay, moving down to Mage. Mage is going elemental, wasn't it? Seems like it through a glance. Looks elementally to me.
You are not prepared.
Thank you for the follow, guys. I'm not acknowledging all the follows today because we have bigger fish to fry. Like, we gotta get through these cards at a decent pace. I'm planning on making a video out of this without actually editing 3 hours of footage. So I'm trying to keep it as concise as possible. Well, DK will be playable. I don't know, man. Like, Who plays Wild anyway? Gonna take a while to figure that one out. Honestly, I just use Wild to complete some standard quests. A lot of the times I just pick up some deck from HS Replay and do free games with a class and whatnot, and I'm still climbing. Like, I think I'm at Platinum right now, just doing quests from time to time in there. Okay, moving down to Mage. 2-mana Frost spell, Preservation. Freeze an enemy, excavate a treasure. That's kind of lit. We saw that the Mage Excavation Treasure was not that amazing though, so there's that. But this is a pretty good spell, like 2-mana freeze an enemy. It's actually enemy, so you could even freeze some weapon classes, prevent them from slapping you big time. Let's say this could be huge against Paladins, against Death Knights, against Hunters even, all sorts of things. So very, very flexible way to freeze. But if the other Excavate cards are this good, maybe it is worth going the Excavate package, even though the Legendary Treasure is nothing to write home about. 2-mana Heatwave. It's a fire spell. Deal 2 damage to an enemy minion and its neighbors. Quick draw to all enemies instead. 2-mana, 2 damage AoE, that's kind of lit. Like, that's usually 3-mana territory. Like, let's say Consecration, Holy Nova. Like, this is literally Consecration to all enemies. That's exactly Consecration. But for 1 mana less if you get lucky enough to draw it when you need it. Kind of cool, kind of cool. Definitely gonna see a lot of play now, isn't it? 2-mana Stargazing. A lot of 2-mana tribe spells, I guess. 2-mana Stargazing is an arcane spell. Draw a different arcane spell. If you play it this turn, it casts twice. What is an insane different arcane spell we're gonna be breaking the game with, though? I guess this is gonna be huge for I mean, we don't straight up run Arcane Bolt in Sith Mage though, so I don't know, it's a little bit weird. Arcane Blast or whatever it was. Yeah, nothing really that amazing in terms of arcane spells, but it's a nice way to tether out stuff, like tethering out volume up maybe and whatnot. Could be interesting. You can also, I mean, it's kind of insane getting the 0-mana draw 2 cards. Like, that's a huge benefit to draw a bunch like that, so it is going to be a good card for sure. 3-mana Azurite Vein. Secret. When the enemy plays a card on the turn that it entered their hand, get a copy that costs 0. I mean, this sounds like trash, and the main reason for that is it is. But this is going to have some very sick niche situations where it's actually going to be absolute cog blocking the opponent of actually top decking something like Odin on turn 8, getting lucky like that. I mean, you're still probably going to do it. Yeah, the opponent's going to have a 0-mana 8/8, but it's basically doing nothing, I guess. But it is definitely kind of annoying. But it is one of the worst Mage secrets right now. Like, it competes with Vengeful Visage as the worst secret right now, probably. But it is going to have some niche situations where you're going to be like, damn, that sucks. So, you're probably never going to be straight up running this, but you're probably going to be not super sad if you discover it in certain situations. 4-mana Overflow Surger is a free 2 elemental. Battlecry, summon a copy of this for each turn in a row you've played an elemental. I mean, filling your board with a bunch of free 2s. Can you buff this somehow in your hand? I don't think so. Seems like people are not big fans of this card, even though, like, turn 1 play an elemental, turn 2 play an elemental, turn 3 you coin this out and you have free 2s. I don't know, it's probably gonna be okay. I think people are a little bit harsh here. I think this should be decent. 4-mana Reliquary Researcher is a free 5 Battlecry. If you've excavated twice, cast 2 random Mage secrets. Okay, so that's why we have Azurite Vein, because this card would have been insane without an extra bad secret in the bunch, but still pretty strong card, isn't it? Pretty strong card, and again, this is another Excavate card that looks pretty solid for the Mage class. 4 mana, Teodolin Bloodwatcher. 4 mana, 2/5. Cards that didn't start in your deck costs 4 less, but not less than 1. I didn't see that many discovers, from the new cards at least. We do have a bunch from the old sets. It's a legendary. Feels like a little bit of a meme card, but I can see this being a wee bit oppressive here and there. It's probably gonna be shining. It's probably gonna make some pretty weird play patterns from time to time in it. 6 mana 4/4, Blast Mage Minor is a battle cry, excavate a treasure. For each card in your hand, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. So this is like a mini Astalor if you have 9 cards. 6 mana, deal 9 damage like that potentially can be huge. It's also an excavate card, so sounds pretty decent. Yeah, I can see this being real good if Excavate Mage picks up. Oh, it's actually dealing up to 10 damage because you Excavate first indeed. That does give you the extra card first. Cool. So that's 10 damage randomly split. Pretty strong if you ask me. 6 mana legendary, 6/5 elemental. Battle cry, draw an elemental, split it into 2 halves. Mesodune the Fractured. How do you split it into 2 halves? What do you mean? Does Drowned Up though? Like, if you split this 4 mana 3/2, is it gonna give you 2 mana 2/1s? Probably. Or is it actually gonna give you a 2/1 and a 1/1, let's say? Yeah, they do. If it draws you rag like that, that can be interesting indeed. Kinda not sure about it though. It will give you a 2/1 and a 1/1. I don't know, man. Neptalon. Neptalon can be huge like that. Yeah, this does have some scam potential for sure. Definitely does have the scam potential. I'm not sure how good it is. Yeah, it does have the cost. And again, it doesn't have to be precise. Like, if you draw 9 mana, it's gonna give you a 5 and 4, apparently. Interesting. And lastly, we have a 10 mana fire spell. Sunset Volley. Deal 10 damage, randomly split among all enemies. Summon a random 10 cost minion. Deal 10 damage, randomly split among all enemies. Summon a random 10 cost minion. It's kind of cool. I'm assuming you can discount this if you discover it. I'm not sure you're going to want to be running this in your deck, but you're probably going to want to discover it so you can do some BS with this guy. Good for Burgle Rogue. Yeah, probably. Yeah, some OTK shenanigans are definitely hiding on this card, aren't they? Okay, that's it for the Mage class. That is it for the Mage class. We have Paladin, Priest, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior left. God help me. God help me, chat. Fuck. Okay. Let's keep at it. 10 cards for Paladin. First up, 2 mana Showdown. Both players summon 3 outlaws. Give yours Rush. It seemingly is a sucky card, but combo this with something like Crusader Aura, and suddenly your 3/3 idiots become 5/4 rushers, which are gonna be 5/1s after you're done rushing, I guess. I guess you could also kill them with some AoE and whatnot. Interesting card, but I think it's a little bit on the niche end. It's not even having the holy tag, so it's kind of weird, Lay Down the Law. 2 mana tradable card. Set a minion's attack and health to 1. Quick draw, then deal 1 damage to it. That's huge. Very strong as a tradable card especially, so you can actually get the quick draw effect. But even if you don't get the quick draw effect, you're a paladin after all. 1 damage is your middle name in the end of the day, so pretty strong cards. 2 mana 2/1 dragon, Hi-Ho Silverwing. Divine Shield, Death Rattle, draw Holy Spell. Divine Shield, Death Rattle, draw Holy Spell. Decent stuff. It does have the stats as Sanguine Soldier in the end of the day, so not that amazing in terms of stats and Divine Shield, but still pretty strong card. Especially since it's drawing you 1 extra card. It being a Holy Spell, I can see this being pretty good in Pure Buff Pally. Pure Buff Aggro Pally kind of deal. We have a 3 mana legendary 3/4 Undead Beast. Spirit of the Badlands. Battlecry, if your deck has no duplicates, get a permanent Mirage. What does that mean? At the start of your turn, transform into a copy of a minion in your deck. This stays in your hands. Okay. Guess that's kind of cool. Again, I'm not sure this is worth building your deck Highlander for it, but yeah, I get it. It's kind of cool, but I'm not sure it's good enough, is it? It's a lot of value, but in today's day and age, value alone is not enough. You kind of want to scam. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to keep our eye on this one, but I don't think this is reason enough to go Highlander for Pally right now. Free mana Deputization Aura. Your leftmost minion has +3 attack and lifesteal. Lasts 3 turns. 3 turns. It's kind of good. It's an aura. It can definitely help you get a lot of lifesteal like that, so sounds like a good card to me. It's also a holy aura. So for 3 turns, you're gonna be healing the shit out of the board alone. Like the opponent's gonna have to figure out ways to trade your minions and whatnot. And with +3 and lifesteal tag, sounds pretty good. Pretty good indeed. We also have a 3 mana 4/3 Holy Cowboy. We see Gov there. Battlecry, your next holy spell costs 2 less. Doesn't have to be this turn, so this can be kind of fun. This can definitely be interesting like that. Paladin looking spicy. Yeah, it's a cool card. With the discount, it can definitely help you do some good stuff. 5 mana 1/5 Lawful Longarm. Wow, I was gonna pronounce that Longarm or something. Anyway, 5 mana 1/5 Rush Lifesteal Battlecry. Gain +1 attack for each card in your hand. So this can be a 10 damage, technically speaking. With Rush and Lifesteal. That's gonna be insanely annoying, guys. Like, Paladin seems to be going on a very annoying route, isn't it? It's gonna be very hard to kill Paladins, it seems. This should be decent. Like, even with 4 cards in, it's a 5 mana 5/5 Rush Lifesteal. Pretty annoying. And with the Aura even, you could make it into 8s. With Crusader Aura, it can be a 7. Pretty big stuff. 6 mana Legendary. The Badlands Bandits. Get 8 3/2 bandits with bonus effects. Any that can't fit in your hand are summoned instead. Okay, so this helps your Lawful Longarm as well. That's kind of cool. Let's look at those bandits. They're all 3/2s, it seems. And they have Rush, Reborn, Divine Shield, Poisonous Wind, Fury, Taunt, Stealth, Lifesteal. The usual suspects. They have different arts. They look kind of cool. Who left this guy with all of the dwarves, though? Sandy Red. Funny. Wait, is this some, the Kobold and the 7 dwarfs kind of reference? Sandy Red. That's weird. Burly, crusty, dusty, pearly, rusty, surly, Mo. Hilarious. Kind of funny. Seems like community doesn't think too highly of this card, but I can see it being decent. Mo. Let's not forget Mo. 7 mana Prismatic Beam. A spell, deal 3 damage to all enemies, costs 1 less for each enemy minion. Well, this is gonna be extremely annoying. It's a common card also, so you can have a couple of these. Very, very annoying. Like 0 mana, deal 3 damage to all enemies if the board is full. That's gonna be disgusting. Seems like Paladin is gonna be very, very control-y and very lifesteal-y. Very annoying is what I'm trying to say. Paladin, new priest confirmed, is it? It's only for enemies too. It also goes face, so that's pretty annoying. And lastly, we have a 10 mana 4/6 elemental. Taunt, Divine Shield, costs 1 less for each other card in your hand. So with this thing, this can go down to 0, huh? It's kind of interesting. Taunt and Divine Shield sitting at 4/6 being elemental can definitely be very annoying. Like, Pally usually doesn't have, yeah, sitting at, no, it's gonna be, oh yeah, no, it can go down to 0. Like, you play this, it fills your hand, and then you play this for 0 because you don't remove it from your hand. Oh, other card. Okay, okay. Now I get it. So yeah, 1 mana. Okay, still doable. Each other. Very specific distinction, but yeah, you're right. It can go down to 1 mana. Cool, cool. Should be interesting. Okay, that's it for Paladin. Let's go to everybody's favorite class, Priestical. Starting off with a 2 mana Holy Springwater. Restore 8 health to a damaged character. Save any excess in a 1-cost bottle. Is that strong? Is this the support Overheal Priest needed? Like, if this was a 0 mana bottle, I feel like it would have been better, but basically spending 3 mana for 8 health. What is this, classic? But I guess it is gonna have some niche situation where it's gonna be good for Priestical. Damaged character, you can use it to minions, to your face. It's kind of flexible, but I don't know. 3 mana 2/4 Benevolent Banker. Battlecry, discover a spell from your deck. Quick draw, enemy deck instead. So you get to steal the enemy's spell? Well, I guess that can be crazy good if you steal a symphony or something like that. Kinda hard to justify fitting a card like this in Priest, but I guess if you go for Highlander, it's not gonna be a bad thing to be doing. A little bit wonky on the quick draw aspect, but it can work out interesting. 3 mana Injured Hauler, a 3/7. Deal 4 damage to this minion. Overheal, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. Well, you're gonna have to work to actually overheal this, but with the Holy Springwater, I guess you can. Yeah, that can be interesting for Overheal Priest. I can see that happening. Would have been even better if this was Taunt or something, but I guess it's potentially decent like this as well. Time will tell. 4 mana Posse Possession. Summon a 4/4 copy of a random minion in your opponent's hand. That sounds like trash. You summon it, you don't even get a Battlecry effect or anything, so that's kind of weird. I don't know, I don't like this card, sounds dumb. 4 mana Tram Heist. Get a copy of each card your opponent played last turn. So basically like a 4 mana Plagiarize. I guess it could be good. That's an extra way to get a copy of the opponent's Titan or something, like getting a Sargeras like this can be insane. But at the same time, spending 4 mana for that, a little bit on the expensive side in it. But it can definitely make its way into a Highlander deck, I'd say. 4 mana Invasive Shade Leaf. Deal 8 damage to an enemy minion. Save any excess in a 1-cost bottle. Huh. So 5 mana, deal 8 damage. Split. A little bit weird, but it's definitely very flexible, that's for sure. Cool. 4 mana, free 5, Pip the Potent. Battlecry, copy each 1-cost card in your hand. Is there a broken combo with this? Yeah, Boar Priest is gonna love this, I guess, but that's in Wild now. The bottles. Yeah, all those bottles getting copied like this, it's somewhat good. Still feels like a lot of work for not that big effect, though. I don't know. Guess we'll have to wait and see how good this is. Again, probably good enough for a Highlander deck. 5 mana, Swarm of Lightbugs. Summon 10 1/1 Lightbugs with Lifesteal. Save any excess in a 1-cost bottle again. Okay. The bugs have lifesteal, but they don't have rush. That's kind of weird. I guess they're still pretty annoying. I don't know. Sounds a little bit on the iffy side again, but I really don't know. Like, it's weird. Without rush, it feels a little bit on the iffy side. Yeah, it is definitely going to be annoying for aggro classes without AoE, because this is still a ton of healing like that, but for a lot of classes this is easily removed, I guess. 6 mana, 4/6, Thirsty Drifter. Taunt costs 1 less for each 1-cost card you've played this game. Okay, so that's a little bit more support for Pip and for the potions. Yeah, getting 0 mana, 4/6 Taunt, kind of good. And lastly, we have 8 mana, 5/5 Elise, Badlands Savior. Battlecry, if your deck has no duplicates, summon 4/4 copies of 4 random minions in your deck. Again, is this worth being Highlander for? Summons 4/4 copies. Get Yaganam on Tool. You're not wrong. The Colossal can also be good. I guess. Guess kind of good. Sitting at 8 mana though. Effect is cool and all, but is it really that good? Hard to say. Community likes it. So if Highlander Priest is a thing, you're obviously gonna like this card. Yeah, it's not amazing, but you still get a copy of it, so better than nothing. 4 mana, 4/4. I mean, a 4/4 that kills something probably and gives you lifesteal. Not that bad. Okay. 4 classes to go, chat. I will survive. Okay, looking at Rogue now. We have 1 mana, weapon, 1 free, Bloodrock Co-Shovel. Death Rattle, Excavated Treasure. Well, that's huge. But it's a Death Rattle actually, so not that huge. It's okay. Gives you a shovel to spank with. And you have an Excavate at the end, so I guess it's okay. Stick up, discover a quick draw card from another class. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool playing it where you actually have enough mana to play some of those quick draw cards. Can be pretty huge. Like if you discover some of those hand disruption cards, would be pretty big. 2 mana Dart Throw. Throw 2 damage darts at random enemy minions. If both hit the same minion, get a coin. Okay, so it's 2 mana, deal 4 damage, potentially get a coin. That can be huge. It's gonna take the opponent some playing around to actually not give you something like that to get the extra stuff like that, but still pretty strong in it.
You are
Seems like a good card to me, but community doesn't like it so far. 3 mana Shell Game. Get a random epic, rare, and common card from other classes. Well, fun little card that is not something you're gonna be straight up running in your deck and expect to win now, is it? 3 mana, 3/4, Bounty Wrangler. Quick draw or combo, get a coin. Getting a coin always good. Nothing beats a good coin. And yeah, this is gonna be pretty good, I'd say. 3 mana, 3/3, Velarok Windblades. Is a legendary. While this is in your hand, play 3 cards from other classes to reveal Veronok's true form. Color me intrigued. A 3 mana 3/6 dragon. Charge. After this attacks, discover a card from another class. It costs 3 less. Damn, boy. Okay, so Burgle Rogue actually has some potential now with this guy, huh? Sounds pretty strong indeed. Probably the best Burgle cards after Test Greymane, huh? Looks solid, looks saucy. So I guess even cards like Shell Games suddenly become a lot better because this gives you the free cards you need to actually do the things. But it's random epic, rare, and common, so it can give you some expensive crap. So I don't know, man, a little bit iffy. 4 mana, 5/4, Antique Flinger. Battlecry, if you've excavated twice, destroy an enemy minion. Say less. It's not a random minion too, so you get to choose which one you destroy. This is gonna be huge. 4 mana, 4/3 Mech. Drilly the Kids. Battlecry, Quick Draw, and Death Rattle. Excavated Treasure. That's huge. That's kind of huge. So this is minimum 2 excavates for a treasure, and with the quick draw 3. So yeah, that's gonna be a no-brainer for excavating. So even though the excavate treasure for Rogue seems a little bit on the iffy side, with all of the excavate cards being this good, so I guess it is gonna be worth it, huh? 5 mana Wishing Well is a 0/7. After you play a coin, get a random legendary minion from another class and set its cost to 1. It's kind of huge, potentially huge payoff. Like we saw so many ways to actually get coins for Rogue, including plenty other coin cards in Standard right now. So this Wishing Well might actually be pretty big. And we also have a 7 mana, 7/7s. Deal 7 damage to a minion. Draw 7 cards. Damn, that's a lot of draw. This might actually be good for, what was that Abyssal card called? The 4 mana that makes your big card cost 0. That can be huge. Get to resummon them? Trickster. Resummon them with what? Swift Scale Naga. Yeah, that can be pretty big with this 7/7s indeed. A lot of card draw. Good stuff, good stuff. What do we got for Shaman? Shaman needs some loving right now. 2 mana, 2/2. Murloc, Cactus Cutter. Draw a spell if you cast it this turn. Game +1/+2. And Taunt. Definitely looks strong, like a 2 mana 2/2 Murloc that draws a spell alone is pretty strong. And the extra bonus effect could be real huge. I'm not sure what cheap... are there any 0 spells for Shaman right now worth talking about? Probably not. But we do have plenty of 1-drops, plenty of 2-drops we can see. So this should be strong for Murloc Shaman if that pops off. 2 mana Trusty Companion. Give a minion +2/+3. If it has a minion type, draw one of that type. Okay, so these two are going hand in hand. Zap. I guess that's in standards. I'm not sure we're going to be playing it though, because of the overload and whatnot. But yeah, this Trusty Companion sounds pretty strong indeed. 2 mana, Amorphous Elixir. Restore 5 health, discover a spell. Not bad. Restoring 5 health always helps. Trusty is better for Elemental. Doesn't make it bad for Murloc though. Yeah, it does, but for Murloc it's also probably gonna be good if we have enough support for Murloc. 3 mana Dehydrate, Lifesteal, deal 4 damage to a minion. Quick draw, costs 1. That can be pretty good. I guess it actually could get comboed with Cactus Cutter like that. This does help you with quick draw and whatnot, so that's a good 1 mana spell right there. But you're gonna want to play this on turn 3, I guess, or with the coin. 3 mana Minecart, Rush, Overload, 2 Battle Overload 2, and Battlecry. If you've played an Elemental last turn, don't overload. Okay, 3 mana 4/5 that has Rush and is an Elemental. That's kind of huge. Helps you with the chain and whatnot. Yeah, this is gonna be real strong for Elemental Shaman. 5 mana 5/4 Elemental, Living Prairie. Battlecry, if you've played an Elemental last turn, summon 2 free cows with Rush. Well, that's a lot of stats for the mana. That is a lot of stats with the mana right there, isn't it? If you've played an Elemental last turn, doesn't have to be a chain or anything, just last turn, so that's kind of huge. Should be great. 5 mana 4/5, Dr. Holiday, I guess, is a legendary. Battlecry, if your deck has no duplicates, equip the Staff of 9 Frogs. Do tell. After your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 frog with Taunt. Each frog is bigger than the last. Okay, so you have 2/9 on the charge, and the last frog is gonna be a 10/10, huh? Cool. That's kind of cool. A lot of swings. It's a Highlander deck, so it's gonna take a while. So yeah, having a big fat 10/10 at the end with all of these swings. Yeah, actually, it's gonna be a 9/9 unless you buff it somehow. It will be a 9/9 indeed. Yeah, strong. Decent incentive to be Highlander, I guess. Not super big incentive, but it seems like all of these Highlander decks are a little bit on the weird side. Like, usually Highlander decks have so much incentive to go Highlander. Right now, I'm kind of missing it. I'm not seeing it super enticing. 7 mana 7/7 Elemental. Battlecry, deal 1 damage to all enemies. Improved by each turn in a row you've played an Elemental. That's gonna be huge. Like, this could be a turn 6. So much damage like that, or turn 7 can be pretty huge. Obviously, you're gonna have to keep the chain going, so you are gonna have to be decently lucky. So yeah, if you drop the ball at some point, it's not gonna be as amazing. But if your deck is nothing but elementals, it should be easy enough to keep the chain going, unless you're playing against classes that can make your minions cost more. That can actually be brutal, like let's say against Death Knight, they play your next turn, your minions cost 5 more. There goes your chain now, innit? 7 mana Giant Tumbleweed is a nature spell, deals 6 damage to all minions, summon 6/6 Tumbleweed. It's kind of huge. Not only are you basically removing the whole board, but you also summon a 6/6. Does it have anything to go with it? No rush, no tag. But yeah, this would be huge in Arena, and not only, like, you can discover this to get some clutch action. Probably is gonna fit in Highlander decks, should be decent. And we also have the 9 mana 4/16 Elemental, Rush, Lifesteal, Mega Wind Fury, Overload, 2 Elemental. How is this a card?
You are not
How is this a card in today's day and age?
I'm blind.
Looks pretty strong to me. Not sure if Elemental Shaman has room for this. I think they usually try to be more early game oriented, but maybe nowadays it's gonna be more mid-rangey, huh? So yeah, this can be insanely overpowered, especially if you actually discover this or randomly summon this. That would be pretty brutal for other classes. But it is quite the chunker. Quite the chunker with the Mega Wind Fury, meaning you attack 4 times with it if there's enough minions to rush into. Could be a lot of healage. Could be a lot of healage. Okay, so Shaman goes the elemental route. Has a little bit of Highlander action going as well. Should be interesting, and also the Murloc support seems interesting as well. Moving down to Warlockio.
You are not prepared.
And here,
I'm blind.
starting off with the 1 mana Smokestack. We have a deal 1 damage to a minion if it dies Excavate a Treasure. So it's basically like a Mortal Coil, but not card draw, but Excavate instead. Pretty decent, and let's not forget it has the best treasure at the end, so a very good Excavate card right there. 1 mana, fucking. That's how you pronounce it, right? English is my second language, guys. Bear with me. Look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck. Draw 1 and destroy the others. It says destroy, not discard. So that's a little bit annoying, but I don't know. This doesn't sound super amazing. People seem to like it. Am I missing something? Yeah, it's actually old tracking. So yeah, that was always good. So I guess this is like tracking, but a little bit better because you get to see the bottom. The barrels of sludge. Oh, I totally forgot about that sludge action. Okay, here's the support for it, I guess. 2 mana, 3/2, Disposal, Assistant, Battle Cry, and Death Rattle. Put a barrel of sludge on the bottom of your deck. When this is played, discarded or destroyed, deal 3 damage to the lowest health enemy. Okay, now we're cooking. There was also a neutral like that at 1 mana, 2/2. Was it? No, it was something else, but again, sounded well statted, so that's cool. So yeah, these two together are going to work well. I'm not sure if they're going to make an archetype of their own or something, but it's probably going to be a nice little package to fit in certain decks. 3 mana Trolley Problem. Discard your lowest cost spell. Summon 2 free tram cars with rush. Quick draw, don't discard. I'm gonna have to read that again. My brain is completely fried at this point. 3 mana Trolley Problem. Discard your lowest health. Discard your lowest cost spell. Summon 2 free tram cars with rush. Quick draw, don't discard. Okay, so this is targeting. So you're gonna know probably what you're discarding, like maybe your coin, maybe one of these, something along those lines, and getting a 3 mana double free tram cars with rush. That's kind of huge, so this card should be pretty good, even though it comes at a little bit of price. Yeah, should be interesting. Yeah, with the quick draw, it could be huge. Coining this on turn 2, that's gonna be insane. Okay, we have 3 mana Sludge on Wheels. 1/5. Rush. Whenever this takes damage, get a barrel of sludge and add 1 to the bottom of your deck. Okay, so you're adding 1 to your hand and adding 1 to the bottom of your deck. Is that it? So technically the trolley could be discarding these. That's kind of strong. That's kind of real strong in it. Yeah, I guess that's what it says, right, guys? Get a barrel of sludge and add 1 to the bottom of your deck. So you're getting 2 effectively. That should be strong. 4 mana, 4/5, Mech Demon, Moarg, Drillfist. Taunt, Death Rattle, Excavate a Treasure. Not the best Excavate card out there, but we all know the big payoff for Excavate Warlock right now, so this should be insanely strong. Furnace Fuel, 4 mana Fire. Spell is whenever this is played, discarded, or destroyed, draw 2 cards. Okay. I guess this can also get targeted by the trolley problem if you limit yourself to this as your lowest cost spell. It's also nice for discard action. At some point this is going to be broken. Maybe even right now it's going to be real good. Definitely sounds great for discard Warlock, even though there you have so many good options it might not even make the cut, huh? 4 mana 7/7. Nothing beats a good old 4 mana 7/7. It's a demon, waste remover. At the end of your turn, destroy the bottom 3 cards of your deck. So again, with the sludge action going, this can be pretty decent. Like, it looks like a downside, but it could be a huge benefit, huh? That can work. 4 mana 2/6. Legendary minion, Pop Guard the Putrid. Your fell spells cost 1 less and have lifesteal. Battlecry, get 2 barrels of sludge. Not at the bottom of the deck, but in your hand this time. Okay, sounds decent. Your fell spells cost 1 less and have lifesteal. That's huge. Like, you're gonna be lifestealing the shit out of the opponents. Stabilizing and getting those sludges again to do shenanigans with. That can work, that can work. Barrel is fell? I hope so. Fuck. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is fell, so that's huge indeed. It is fell indeed, chat. That can work big time. And it also makes your barrels 0 mana, so you can just throw them out, not just discard them. No, it makes them 1 mana. They cost 2 initially. Cool, cool. And lastly, we have a 7 mana legendary Tramp Conductor Gary. 7 mana 4/4 Battlecry. If you excavate it twice, summon 6 free Tramp cards with Rush. Just because the excavate is so strong for Warlock, this is going to be a no-brainer for those decks. So, really strong card again. Love it. Cool. Warlock is seeming a very spicy. Very spicy as advertised. What do we have for Warrior? You guys told me the excavation is absolute garbage for Warrior, but let's see. Taunt package should be good though. Unlucky Powderman. 2 mana 2/2 undead. Taunt, Death Rattle, give taunt minions in your hand and deck +1/+1. That's huge. With the Azerite Chain Gang, as we saw from the neutrals, this can be pretty gnarly. It's a Death Rattle, so it's prone to silence and whatnot, but still very strong card. No-brainer if Taunt Warrior becomes a thing, and it kind of seems like it will. 2 mana Misfire is an epic spell. Deal 3, 2, and 1 damage to random minions. Quick draw, choose the targets. That's insanely strong. Yeah, that'll be real good. At 6 damage sitting at 2 mana. That's good on its own, but with the quick draw it becomes insanely good. 3 mana weapon, Battlecry, Battle Pickaxe. Has 4 damage, 1 durability. After you play a taunt minion, gain +1 durability. Okay, so if you play this on turn 4, and you play a 1 mana taunt, you can basically start slapping insta. Obviously Viper is going to be scary for you, but if a Taunt Warrior is a deck, and it definitely looks like it will be, this Battle Pickaxe should be pretty good. 3 mana Blast Charge. Destroy a damaged enemy minion. Excavate a treasure. Destroy a damaged enemy minion. Excavate a treasure. So it's basically a 3 mana Execute with Excavate attached to it. Sounds like an okay Excavate card. Nothing to write home about, but Execute used to be a pretty good card for the longest time. This should be okay, to say the least. Let's see the rest of them, though. 3 mana. Why the hell is this shown in the Discover here? Like it's a standalone card. The other treasures weren't shown. Why is this Excavate treasure shown like that? That's weird. Anyway, 3 mana Reinforced Plating, gain 6 armor, and Excavate a treasure. Again, not the worst card, guys. What do you mean? 3 mana gain 6 armor. It's not gain 8 armor plus tradable, but still Excavate sounds good. So I'd say it's an okay Excavate. Slagma Slumbering is a legendary everybody got. Did everybody get that, or was it some paid action? I don't know, but we got the signature of it, so it looks pretty sexual. 4 mana 16/16, Rush, Taunt, Dormant for 8 turns, but Excavate helps it awaken 2 turns sooner. So you play this on turn 4. And the fastest it can come out would be, what, turn 6? I guess it can work out. Slag my balls, bitch. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's an okay card. It can see some play, I'd say. Depends on how good Excavate turns out to be, but I think it's looking promising. 5 mana 3/6 mech. Detonation Juggernaut. Taunt, Battlecry, give taunt minions in your hand, +2/+2. Again, pretty sick for the Azurite Chain Gang. And pretty sick for the Taunt Warrior class archetype on its own as well. Should be good. 6 mana 2/7 Beast. Blast Tortoise. It's a taunt, Battlecry, deal damage to all enemy minions equal to this minion's attack. Okay, so this into that suddenly becomes very, very strong. With these idiots as well, this could be 6 damage AoE. And a very fat taunt, so sounds like a very strong card to me. Badlands Brawler. Battlecry, start a brawl. If you've excavated twice this, always wins. So, pretty insane card as well. I don't know, guys. I think the Excavate package is actually kind of solid for Warrior. And lastly, we have 8 mana Bomb Boss Togrin. Battlecry, shuffle 3 TNT into your deck. When drawn, blow up a card in the enemy's hand, deck, and battlefield. Jesus, man, say less. That's kind of insane. Casts when drawn. So it's basically like a patchwork with a plague effect to it. Should be pretty annoying to play around. Gonna be pretty toxic card to play against indeed, especially for a control warrior deck. Like if you're playing against the combo deck, this is gonna be ruining their day big time. That about wraps it up, guys. These are all the freaking cards. They said they can't be done. Ran through all of them in about 2.5 hours. Damn, that was a lot of talking. Hope you guys enjoyed this little expansion overview. Get ready for it, November 14th. And yeah, I should be giving you guys some decks to be playing on day 1 relatively soon. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you still haven't. Thanks for watching.